Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Talking Town. We are here to discuss the Den of Delight, Millwall 0, Ipswich Town 4. What a game. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Get active in the live chat. There'll be a live link as always, but as I've said in the live chat this evening, we do want to try and keep it under 60 minutes if we can. I say that every time, and every time we always explode over 60 minutes, but we also want to get through some Swansea previews. So I'll drop a link. We'll get 2 or 3 of you in. If you don't get on, I do apologize, but of course I'll also try and get on people who couldn't get on last night's show. There is a live chat though, so do get your active thoughts and feelings in there. Philip Blundell kicking us off with some fantastic work-related news. Congratulations, Phil. I'm pleased for you. Great to see you already getting a pay rise. That's great stuff. As always, if you're watching on catch up, FTA, comment for the algorithm, like, subscribe, all of that lovely business. And don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. And I had some stats through recently, which shows that many more of you are playing Match Bingo, which is fantastic news. So don't be left in the cold. Play Match Bingo. Are you a sports enthusiast who wants to win prizes and support the vital work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance? If you do, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Register online, download the Match Bingo app on your mobile, choose your matches, £2 a bingo card as a free bingos as well. Let us know if you're playing. Let us know if you're winning. Over 18s, be gamble aware. All the information's on the screen. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes, and support the vital work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Fantastic stuff. Right. And of course, I think I've already said it, but smash the like button, as the Cruncher has said in the chat here. Adrian, nice to see subs making a difference. Keep the pressure on the first 11. Who was your standout performer yesterday? Who really put in a fantastic shift? You go, the needle mover, back moving that needle. Amari Hudson in the 10 role. I thought he was rather special last night. Who else? Let us know as we go through the next, however long we do. I'll say 60 minutes in a hopeful anticipation. Joining me as always is Moaning Myrtle Matthew Phillips and the Cruncher Richard Moss. Welcome in, one and all.
Good evening. Good evening, Matthew. Are you okay?
Fine. Why are you saying I'm moaning?
I had a little snooze this afternoon. I woke up to the WhatsApp group with about 20 messages of you, and it was like a game of tennis, everybody.
We were
them two going backwards and forwards.
In music circles, they call it creative differences.
There's no difference. It's just you moaning.
Gov put him away with a forehand smash overhead.
Well, that's
ironic.
There's a VAR on that one. I don't think so, everybody.
No VAR needed on that one. And no VAR, well, A, we haven't got it, but B, none needed last night. 4-0. I think I saw you on the television, Rich, although
I was on the TV. Yeah, I was on the TV.
The cameras
quickly, right? Quickly. So it was obviously Kieran McKenna's 100th league game. We've gone past the 200 points under McKenna in the league, Matt. 202. So tonight, 202 likes.
Like it.
Go for it.
Like it. Ailey says Valentine's Day last year was a turning point for Town. Who can forget last year's Valentine's Day? That was a great moment. Let's hope this year is no different. Let's go on a winning run.
Matt, I was moaning. That last year I was moaning.
What did I say? The show I done after Bristol Rose with Colin, I said, if anybody thinks we can get in the top 2, they need to give their head a wobble.
I did, to be fair. And
here he goes. He said that Sheffield Wednesday would fall apart. Didn't go down the bookies, Matt, and put any money on, did he? Come on.
You just wanted to get one over one of your family members, though, didn't you? That was the driver.
Of course he did.
I did. Max Facts, Gov, can we get Mick Mills on the show? Rich, what are your thoughts on that?
I listened to the show with... shout out, Frank. Frank's coming over for the Watford and the Middlesbrough game. He's booked the flights. He's going to come to the statue. But I did not say some of them comments, Frank, if you're in the chat. I did say that he's a bit boring. I didn't call him a boring bastard, by the way.
No, I
did not call him that.
Have some respect. You wouldn't say that to our trophy-winning captain, would you?
He's a Town legend. I think he was on the radio last night. He was made the trip with Brenner. Hopefully he had better luck with the traffic than a lot of people did. I mean, it's an absolute ball ache, isn't it? I know the buses were delayed, because obviously I think the Orwell Bridge was shut, Gov, and then there was an accident on the A12. But, I mean, getting through London, Jesus Christ, it's an absolute shit show. Getting home, brilliant, sailed home.
Even people who live in Bermondsey didn't bother going either, judging by the empty seats.
What was the crowd? Did anybody know what the attendance was?
I don't know.
They came dressed as seats, didn't they?
Yeah. They're on hard times, Millwall. Very hard times.
I spoke to you on the way home. I've got a good friend used to work with, Mickey Green. Shout out. He's a London cabbie, big Millwall fan. And he did tell me, I spoke to him yesterday morning. He said, you'll go down there. It's like, I always expect, Matt and Martin, you go to the Den, hostile atmosphere. There was none of that, was there? There was none of that. It was, you know what, it strikes me a little bit of Town when they were, not the season we got relegated, but the season and a couple of seasons before that when apathy sets in. And you just go into the game, you're going through the motions, you know, there's no atmosphere. And it was, it's a little bit sad if you're a Millwall fan. You know, you go down there and they're normally, it's a passionate fan base. But last night, when I looked at the table, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle to stay in the league, I think.
Who's worse, the Ipswich team that got relegated in 2019, or this Millwall side? This Millwall side even in the bottom three at the moment.
No, I know. Well, that's because there's three worse sides in the Championship. But I say that after last night's performance, they really were the worst I've seen. I've seen QPR, really? I've seen Wednesday, seen Huddersfield. And
you've seen Forest Green. And you've seen Forest Green Rovers.
No. Well, I mean, in the Championship.
Who'd win that game?
They're not quite Lincoln, are they? Let's be honest. But
when you two said we could be in the centre of defence and not concede, I actually think that could have been true last night.
Not in the first 20 minutes, to be fair. First 20 minutes, it was backs to the wall defending needed. Amari going down with a tactical injury there, Rich.
That's a good... At the time I thought, blimey, where's he got that injury? Where's he picked that injury? Because
where's the notes?
No one touched him, but it's... Look, and I know we moan sometimes about gamesmanship and all this, but that was a real... If you look at the game, Gov, I watched it back today, and from that point on, you know, they all went over, had a drink.
They did.
Had a chat to Kieran. From that point on, we were dominant. But before that, the first 15 minutes, look, you know, you go to Millwall, they're going to probably come at you the first 10, 15. They got a few free kicks, didn't they? Got a few balls in the box. Halaki, pretty unconvincing saves, I think, of the two that he did save. I know. The good thing that he did do, he's got them away from the goal, hasn't he? He's pushed them away rather than back out. It was quite a good save, Matt. He done the free kick by the post, because if he spills
that's true.
Yes. But look, we didn't concede. I know you put in the WhatsApp group first go coming here for Millwall, Matt, and then obviously Town. Yeah, it did look that way, but we got out of it, and that's what we've got to do. Because I think you said on Sunday we are notoriously slow starters, aren't we? It's just, I think it's a bit in our DNA at the minute.
Yeah, I think it's gonna last all 46 games and going into the playoffs. I could just see it happening. But you know, at least we've not conceded twice on the trot now in the first 15 minutes.
That's very true. Yeah, I did have
for Swansea.
I did have the message all written out. Fast start, Ipswich start again. It was all written, ready to go, because it looked like any minute now it's gonna creep in, but it didn't. Lewis says Hutchin would cost 10 million. So I'm bringing that up. So I was talking about Amari's tactical injury there and his impact on the game. There's a couple of questions in the chat. Gavin Law says, could we afford to buy Moore and Hutch in the summer? How much would I mean, Kiefer Moore you might be able to.
I'm not sure what his contract situation is, Moore. He might be coming near the end at Bournemouth. Hutchinson, you're going to be 8 million plus.
Then I would say on the FFP you would.
I reckon it's only 4.5.
Look at Tom Cannon. Look at Tom Cannon when he was on loan we spoke about him before. He was on loan at Preston, Matt, last season, and he went for what, 8 million to Leicester?
Yeah.
So somewhere probably around that going up, I would have thought.
You're buying potential, aren't you? Because look, not even a year ago we were going, he looks really raw. What's he going to be like? Now we're talking 10 million plus. But look, it was great he had a good game last night, but it's one thing turning on against Millwall. Can he turn it on, I don't know, against Southampton when they come to Portman Road, the crucial games? But, you know, you can only beat what's in front of you, and he looked really good last night, and it was great to see.
Maybe a loan, Martin. That might be your best bet of getting him back again next season. I don't see him making a bait for Chelsea. I don't know if he thinks... Not
in that Chelsea team that's going nowhere.
I don't. Well, they're in a cup final, Matt, and then in a quarter final of a
league form. Awful. Terrible. Well, spent £1 billion, hadn't they? Yeah,
but he's not going to play for them, is he? I don't think he's going to get anywhere near their first team in a minute.
That could be good news for us.
You could potentially get him back next season, but he's a player. I think he's grown, and I did say on Tuesday in the chat, I did say I fancied him, Martin, last night in the 10. Yeah. You know, because he's not really played that much in that role, has he? Really?
No.
When you look at his best work's probably off the right-hand side. He started on the left a couple of times. I think probably best on that right-hand side. But I think last night, and I do agree with you, Matt, a little bit there. It was all about the opposition. Look, he did run that game. I think the first half he got on the ball. He's a different player than Chaplin. But I think does he keep his place? That's another conversation. Does he keep his place on Saturday when we go to Swansea? You don't think he will? I think I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure.
We'll get into that chat later, but
we will. Yeah.
If you look at some of the Swansea goals they've been conceding, pace seems to be their Achilles heel. Pardon the pun. So he could do, but is that harsh on Chaplin?
But then you've got that short turnaround. Then you've got the short turnaround on. We've only played last night, so obviously day off today, travel down tomorrow. So I'll probably expect a couple of free changes if you're thinking.
Yeah. And we'll get to that.
Martin, would people be happy with this? Look, Sean in the comment here, sell Davis and have the money to buy Hutchinson more.
The thing with Hutchinson is that, it is an investment in a player, but if there's one thing the Evans regime taught me is that there's a conveyor belt of Premier League loan players. That we went from Fraser to Lawrence to Selena. Yeah. Like there will be another Amari type player who's coming, who's another year further down.
Interesting you say that. I was watching that Sunderland Till I Die season 3 today, and they were talking about Patrick Roberts. He was the great. He come from Man City Academy, didn't he?
Yes.
Look at the amount of loans he had. He was off to. I think he went to France. He went to Spain. He was at Derby, all over. So a lot of these youngsters, it's hard, isn't it? Because obviously they're at a big club, but will they make the breakthrough? You look, Matt, how many players Chelsea used to loan out a season? Probably 30, 40, 50, yeah. So it's all right you're being signed to a massive Premier League club, but you sort of get lost in the mix, don't you, a little bit?
Well, they had to employ Tor Andre Flo to be the administrator. He was their loans manager. So like a bank manager, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get lost in the mix. Absolutely. It's a ludicrous amount of players. But I suppose if you've got the money, you're taking a punt, aren't you, each time? And if it doesn't work out, we'll be like what Man City do. Who was the kid that Man City got from us? Ben, was he Ben to me?
Ben Knight.
Yeah, I mean, they took a punt on him and...
Check me out.
Yeah, very good, Martin. Yeah,
I know. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, these young English kids, they'll just, if they've got the cash-rich owners, they're going to take a chance, aren't they?
That's what the big clubs bring. Lewis says Amari's energy was key yesterday. He seemed to give the whole squad a massive boost. You see, the thing is, we'll get to the changes later, but my hesitation with starting Amari again is not because of how badly he did or didn't play, because he played really well yesterday. Is how can we judge it against Millwall, who were the worst side I've seen all season long? And then you've got McKenna on the other hand, who likes to change it and keep it fresh. I don't know. I just think he might look to make a few changes. But I did feel sorry for Millwall. They're crying out for the quality of the past, like Louis Amor Rodriguez and Carl Fletcher. And that was Harchester. That was the original team that played at that stage. Sorry, I'm getting myself
bigger
confused.
Crowds. Did they have bigger crowds?
They have much bigger crowds. Yeah, much bigger crowds. That was great TV. Forget Sundays till you die. That was very.
Sky One Sunday evening.
Yeah, Sky One Sunday evening. Yeah,
I like the kit. Was it purple?
Purple.
Yeah, purple. Yeah. Dreaming was the sponsors. Oh, that was great TV. But go on.
They've got a good young manager though, haven't they? But he's not had the luck. He's not had the luck of opportunity that McKenna's had, has he? The owner at Millwall passed away, didn't he? John Berylson. He's trying to change up their style a little bit. Whereupon, he's probably cut from the same cloth as McKenna, but it's just a much, much harder job. Like you said on the weekend, Martin, it's like walking through treacle for him. Whereupon McKenna's been on the, cruising it with the top down. So, like you say, Rich, there's apathy there.
You always expect Millwall, don't you? I do. Hard working, putting the shift in. Whereas he's come in, and like you say, Matt, he's a good young coach.
Yeah.
But you look, it's all about winning games. I see a rumor today on the socials about Stephen Schumacher under pressure at Stoke already, because I think they won last night, but he'd lost 5 on the bounce before that. Great things he was doing at Plymouth. But this is where Kieran's not going to go now to Palace, but this is where you think if McKenna did leave town, you know, when you go to the Premier League, look at Palace when they employed Vieira. They took that young coach and they thought, yeah, but as soon as you have a few dodgy results, they panic, these teams, and they're sacked, and then they're on the scrap heap a little bit. So obviously Kieran's probably well, we all hope he's going to stay, but it's such an unforgiving profession that they're in. But they know that when they go into there, you're in with your eyes wide open. You could be the best young manager 1 minute, and then the next minute you could pick the wrong club, and then it doesn't go to plan. But look, I hope Millwall survive. You know, they had a good season last season. They almost made the playoffs under Rowett, you know, and now they're obviously struggling for form. And I think they've got a massive game Saturday. I think they play Sheffield Wednesday at home. So that's a huge game.
It's rare that you will find a manager like for Schumacher, like you say, doing great stuff at Plymouth, big fish, small pond. And then he decides to go to Stoke. That's a roll of a dice, isn't it? Because Stoke weren't looking at their ownership, aren't looking at the Stoke side and going, this is going great guns. Let's get Schumacher in. Something's not going right. Therefore, they've got to go and get someone like Schumacher in. So it's going to take. There's obviously something wrong there in the first place, in order for them to have to go and get him. So hopefully he'll get some.
But I suppose a lot of managers think, don't they? Look, obviously Schumacher, when he went to Stoke, he probably thought that's a step up. But then you think of, look at the managers that Stoke have had, Matt, over time. Yeah. You know, they had what was the Luton guy who went there? Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones
didn't do anything. Yeah. You've had the Irish guy. You've had Alex Neil. They've gone through so many managers. So, but I think the managers, when you're a manager, Martin, I think you always think, I can probably turn it around. I could bring success to this football club, but it doesn't always work. But let's look at, if you look at McKenna's record over these 100 league games, guys, it's unbelievable. That was the 57th win, 57 wins, 31 draws, only 12 defeats, and we've got 202 points, 189 goals, 86 goals against. I mean, 57% win rate. It's an incredible record, Martin.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, look, most of that's League One, right? But still, it's still a phenomenal record, regardless. Yeah.
Well,
thankfully,
you say that it's League One, but we've had over half a season in the Championship where we're going at over 2 points a game.
Yeah.
The thing with managerial careers is obviously it's tricky, isn't it? Because it takes one bad season, having set the standards so high, and things change. The landscape changes. The way people view you, not just your own club, the wider landscape changes. The reason why Premier League teams are knee-jerk, and I said at the time sacking Vieira for Palace was knee-jerk, is because the money's so big at going down. You know, if you go down, the money you lose, what it means to your football club, it is. And I think Simon Jordan on TalkSport had a really good point, or several points to make regarding this situation. If you've not seen it, go and check it out, because it's one thing to manage players in the Championship and get your points across. It's another thing to speak to multi-millionaires in the Premier League and get your point across, and bring that style of change about, etc. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. But obviously, he's not going anywhere. Currently not going anywhere. Back to last night. Burgess come in for Fridge. I thought it was very harsh. People in the chat are saying we look stronger defensively. I'll just put my defence up straight away and say, did Millwall cross the halfway line after their first 20 minutes? I don't know. Me and Rich could have played centre half. I think last night after the first 20, certainly. How did you see
it? Cigar time, wasn't it?
It really was. Yeah, like he could have had a cup of tea and sat in the stands reading the newspaper for the rest of the game. It felt like. But how do you see Burgess' performance? Because obviously he is a strong commanding centre half, and he's so much more better on the ball than I remember him being when he first arrived, which is a huge testament to McKenna and what we were saying earlier, Rich.
I agree with you. I think George Edmondson, I said at the time when Cameron's going to go away with Australia, this is Fridge's time, Matt, to come in and put a marker down and play well and give the manager a headache. And I think he's done that, hasn't he? He obviously got player of the month.
Yeah.
He's not going to rock the boat because I think he's a really good professional, Fridge, but he's more than within his rights to go and knock on McKenna's door and have a chat with him and say, look, what more could I have done? I've done well, but you've only got to look at Axel Twanzebe, Matt. He's got himself fit and he just sits on the bench now and he doesn't play. And I think now, and I think I spoke to Colin on the way home last night, you're at the stage of the season now, and I think Tuck said this the other last week, Gov, when I was on with him. I think McKenna's a real loyal coach. You know, he's real loyal to his players. But I think you're at the stage of the season now, business end, Matt, as they call it.
Yep.
If he thinks that Cameron Burgess is one of his best 2 centre halves, I think he has to play him. I think now,
aren't you? Yeah, you're a fan of this. Let's play the best 2.
I think if you've got, because we did go through a stage there, didn't you, when Fridge come in for a couple of games and then Twanzebe come in. I think now let's just play your best 2 centre halves, and if that's a partnership that the manager wants going forward, so be it. But yeah, I don't think he could really have had an easier game, guys, to come into other than that first 20 minutes. But he does give that left-footedness, doesn't he, on that left-hand side centre half, and he plays quite well with Leaf. But look, Fridge, I think he's done really well, and I think we're pretty well stocked in the centre half stakes at the minute, guys, aren't we?
He'll be feeling gutted, Fridge, won't he? Like you say, player of the month, wasn't he? Then he weren't that great against Preston. Arguably gives the ball away again at Portman Road for the swift goal against West Bromwich Albion. But it was cigar time. But it's a bit damning on Fridge, isn't it? Look, we like Fridge. He seems a great character. And you know, when he first came, before he started getting injuries and stuff, he looked like he got the captain's armband, didn't he? At one point.
Do you expect him to go, Matt, in the summer? I wouldn't be surprised if he moves on.
Yeah, I think so.
He'll play regular football.
He'll play regular football somewhere else.
Oh, is that Eric Cashin? Hello, how you doing?
Yeah. Crystal ball, Charlie.
I still would. Don't go. I still would.
Diallo, Cashin. Who else we got coming, Rich?
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's correct, right? I mean, that'd be great.
But I think you need to step up from a Cashin anyway. I think in the summer, I've said it before,
well,
guys.
Depends what league you're in, doesn't it? Depends what league you're in, though, right?
But I still think you need to shore up that defence. Spend the money on a top centre half. But Burgess has really improved, Matt, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
Oh, he's Rolls Royce now.
We've bemoaned him them for last season. I think them goals against Wickham. I think it was Oxford when he was like,
don't get me started.
He couldn't move his feet.
I will get back into moaning.
He couldn't move his feet, could he? You get a player running at him, and I think you thought, blimey, you're in trouble here. But look, he's massive strides he's shown under McKenna. Another one who's improved.
It hasn't taken Burgess long to get back in the team. We were like, well, you know, Fridge has got player of the month. You know, Burgess is going to have to bide his time. But he hasn't had to bide his time, has he? He's only been back a week or whatever. He's back in the side already. So I think you're probably right. But a shame for Fridge, because he must have looked last. He wasn't even on the bench, was he? He must have watched that game last night and thought, bloody hell, why couldn't I have been in that game? No pressure whatsoever, other than the first few minutes.
So how does he decide his subs then, Gov? Because you've got Axel's. Is he like the reserve centre-back? Because Fridge had obviously been playing. Or does Kieran think he'll be a little bit disappointed? I'll just take him out for this game and just let him process it a little bit.
Your utility defender, isn't he? So he can play right back, he can play centre back. So if you lose, Davis,
where is Brandon Williams?
We don't know. But if you lose Davis, you move Clark over, you bring Axel on.
Shocking.
If you lose a centre half, you bring Axel on. You know, the only person if you lose, so Axel gives you that little bit more flexibility. Kerry says, I really like how Burgess keeps the back solid. Andy says, Gov, your record is not good. Just to be fair, Andy, right now with Jack Taylor, unfortunately injured and not set the world alight so far. He will. Yeah, the record's not great on the transfer. If I was a recruitment consultant or analyst or head of recruitment, I think I'd be P45.
But you can do it on Football Manager, can't you? You're good in that realm.
Oh, yeah, brilliant, mate. Yeah, me FIFA, Football Manager. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Twanzebe's only got a deal to the end of season, hasn't he? I can't see him being here next season either, unless they want to give him a short-term deal and see how he has in a summer pre-season. But it looks like he'll go as well. So you could see all change in the centre-back positions potentially.
You could. I still don't think unless you drastically change your shape, you're going to see a lot of goals against going down, if that makes sense, because we are an attacking team. We are an expansive team.
Where are we?
Left back.
Got a question for you then. Got a question for you, Gov. Got a question for you. Where do you think Town are sitting on the clean sheets this season in the league?
On 9, 10?
No, but in the table, where do you think we'd sit?
Oh, that's cruel.
You're not playing, Matt, if you know the answer.
You told me this yesterday.
No, we're sitting fourth. We've got the fourth best.
Get out of here.
10th clean sheet. That was last
Who's
night.
number one?
Are you sure you're looking at the right way around?
I think Leicester. I think Hamadson. He's up there, and Melier, obviously. But you look at the goals conceded. We're pretty close, Matt, to Southampton. And I know people were a little bit disappointed last night. Oh, let's get the goal difference up. Blimey. If you look at Leeds' goal difference, I mean, they're in the 30s. They're in the 30s.
We gave them 4. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. We got not looking good for Baggett. He got subbed off the first half, says Trevor.
Yeah, 28 minutes, got the hook.
Did he?
Yeah, they were 2-0 down at Stevenage, and they come back to win 3-2. So I was reading some of the comments on their Twitter feed when he got, and yeah, not great. So
were they blaming him? Were they blaming him for being 2 down? Then was that the problem?
Well, I don't think it was going swimmingly. I think James Wilson's still there, Gov. You're a fan of him, aren't you?
No. Did he get the Colin Healy treatment?
Colin Healy hooked against was it Doncaster at home?
It was, yeah.
I think he played for Town again, did he? My abiding memory, Matt, of Colin Healy is Brenner's commentary against Arsenal when he says Healy stomps the ball forward.
Yeah.
The tackle.
Yeah.
What a night that was!
Great
He
night.
had Cesc Fabregas in his pocket that night, didn't he?
Brilliant. We played rugby, didn't we? According to
rugby team.
Rugby team, not football team.
Very salty.
Fourth. I can't believe that fourth. It's a great stat. We'll go right. We've got some people coming in. We'll bring in the Fisherman first of all. Fisherman in the chat. I've just seen Sel Walton. What are your thoughts on that one? First of all,
no, I weren't saying it. Someone.
No, I know you weren't.
No, someone said about selling Walton. Well, not right now. I wouldn't. Look,
Window shut.
I do feel sorry for Walton. I still do. He was our number one keeper last season. Didn't do much wrong, and I know we're sitting here saying, "Oh, we're fourth in the clean sheets league and stuff," but we are still because we're still, up until I think we're still conceding an average of 2 goals a game. So
hang on, 40 goals over 31 games, Mike. Don't think that's an average of 2 goals a game, is it?
Oh, right, okay.
Not with my maths.
How many games?
31 games.
Yeah, yeah. We were heading that way, weren't we?
I liked you the other night on it. Just a quick shout out to you. You were really positive, Mike, and I think it's that pep talk. I think it's that pep talk I gave you when you said.
To be honest, yeah.
I give him a pep talk. I told Mike. Mike told me, Matt, that when we got promoted, he said, yes. I'm not going to moan next season. I'm just happy to get out of League One because I hate it.
Mike, what have you done? You let yourself down. You've gone back on it. You've been moaning all season.
No.
He's not been moaning all season, to be fair. He's not been moaning all season.
I think the trouble is, it's like anything, isn't it? You get so excited as a fan, and we're sitting second. We're like silly amount of points ahead of third, and you're like, and then suddenly, there's, the points are being whittled away, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, you're just a little bit.
Is that just put that comment up? Is that a Millwall fan? Is John a Millwall fan?
John Shaw's Millwall looks like it's his recent run of form.
Wow, John.
Easy, John.
Unbelievable.
John,
are you a Millwall fan?
French fries.
Are you a Millwall fan, John? Or are you that lot up the road?
He's a Leeds fan, surely.
Oh, he's a Leeds. Well, maybe.
I don't know. John, let us know. John, let us know who you support. If you're Leeds, we'll catch you anyway.
I can see where Mike's coming from here because, we were all panicking a bit when Walton got injured. What's going to happen? Like you say, he was the mainstay keeper for us last season and put in really great performances.
In League One.
Look, I've given the Laggy a bit of stick, and sometimes rightly so. But at the end of the day, he's our goalkeeper, and whether I rate him or not rate him, Kieran McKenna chooses him, and he had a really good for the penalty, and that he threw the ball out lovely, as I was reminded on Twitter, and it was a great flick on for Hamady to run in and get himself a penalty, and I thought he
outside the box, Mike. Outside the box.
Yeah, I agree. It was outside the box.
Do you think it was one of them
penalties in the box? By the way,
do you think it was one of them penalties where if it was 1-1, the ref doesn't give it? It's a bit of a you're 3-0 up. It's at the end of the game.
If it was a Portman Road, we get it. We get it. If it was away from home, we don't get it.
In the box, Gov, or out? In the box, Gov, or out?
Well, Phil says it's in the box. He's our resident referee analyst. So
the tackle starts outside the box. Continues into the box.
Out of the box.
Phil.
In the box. Phil says it's in the box.
Phil
says it's in the box.
You let yourself down as a ref there, buddy. I was a ref, mate, and Richard's a ref. We're both saying.
I thought at the time, from where we were.
Well, what do you think, Rich? Because you're normally wrong.
I thought he was just outside. I thought he was just outside the box.
So it's definitely a penalty. Stonewall.
Don't worry about it, because the officials will just apologise after the game. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Like they did at Preston.
He took it well though. I don't know, and I don't know if we get it at 1-1. But I certainly know, I don't know for a fact, but I certainly would have thought, Mike, at 1-1, it's not given to Ali as it was done. As it was done.
Yeah, that's a good
Would it
point.
be?
Can't not disagree with that. I think if it's 1-1, probably Chaplin does take it. But it was nice. I spoke to Colin earlier, and he was saying, and Rich confirmed it this morning as well. We were chatting. The obviously, Morsey grabbed hold of the ball and said, "Look, Chappers," probably said to Chappers, "Look,
Did you know?
Did
you know that Chaplin, guys, is on 99 career league goals? So that's probably why he wanted to take that penalty, I think. But I thought it was really good captaincy.
And Chaplin's not very good from the penalty
No,
spot.
he's not
He's
great.
Great at loads of things. Penalties, no, he's not very good at. From memory.
No, whereas
Recently.
Hammer, the pressure was on Hamady, wasn't it? Really,
Yeah.
because first goal, but when he stood there and the way he looked, I thought he didn't look like he was going to miss.
Very
Do you know what
confident,
I mean? I
man,
thought
isn't
he
he?
looked really good.
I've got a stat for you, boys.
Oh, cool.
Ali
Another
Al
one.
Hamady was the 100th different ITFC player to score in a live TV game and the first Iraqi to score a goal in the championship.
I've just been brought a McFlurry. How's that? Oh, lovely. Right, we'll have that in a minute.
What flavour, Mike?
Sorry?
What flavour?
Kit Kat.
Ooh.
Oh, a bit naughty, isn't it? But yeah, on to the game last night. It was first.
Yeah, quickly.
Like I was saying to Rich last night, earlier.
Don't let the McFlurry melt.
10-15 minutes. What's that?
Don't let your McFlurry melt, Mike. That'd be awful.
10.
What's the amount of hot air he lets out? It's bound to.
But yeah, 10-15 minutes. Probably they were right. Sort of, well, let's give them Ipswich a go and let's get at them and stuff like that. But then after that, when we scored and that, we didn't look like we were
Comfortable.
A proper professional performance. Do you know what I mean? It really looked good last night, and it was nice. Burns sort of, he looked back to himself. A little bit disappointed with some of his final balls, but it was nice to see Burns back. Hutchinson was brilliant. Broadhead, brilliant. But Clark was the one that stood out for me. Unbelievable.
Good, yeah.
There was a bit, right? He was in the Millwall half, right outside their penalty area. And the ball obviously went forward quite quickly. And I just see this. It was like one of these cartoon characters come herring from left to right. And he suddenly got back.
That was the one at 0-0, Mike, when they broke on us and they played Bradshaw in down the left. And you're thinking, blimey, he's a bit dangerous 1v1v Wolfie, and he comes back, didn't he? And he made the tackle. I thought he was my man of the match. He was my man of the match last night, Harry Clark. I thought that was one of his best games in a town shirt, Mike.
And the thing is, it weren't just the fact he got back; it was the fact that the effort to get back. If you think about the season we got relegated to League One, there was none of that effort, was there?
No,
none of that at all. Yeah. We went down with a whimper, and but now, like you say, I think. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Moore was lucky with his goal. If you don't header it that direction, it don't go in. Yeah. And it's about time we got an own goal, because I got fed up of being conceded own goals. Broadleaf Davis against Leeds and that, and it was nice that Broady got down that side. I've said many times, get down the byline, get close to in the area, close down the byline, whip it across. We don't know where it's going to end up, and the defender was all over the shop.
His body shape was everywhere, wasn't it? I mean,
oh my days! It looked like he was standing on jelly. It was terrible defending.
Mike, before you start that McFlurry, I just want everyone thinks this behind me, is a bed headboard. But as the lads will tell you, I'm in my kitchen. But I'm presuming yours is actually a bed headboard.
It is. I've got one of these beds that have got like electric TV thing comes up in the middle. I know.
When the beds are rocking, don't come a knocking.
How the other half
I'm
live?
54. I'm 54 years old, mate. There's no rocking in this bed. I'm telling
you. Enjoy your McFlurry, mate.
Mrs. Brown got some roses yesterday evening for some.
No, I cooked my wife a lovely curry last night.
Oh,
I was late home from work because
she's got food. Jesus.
She's gone painting tonight. Anyway, back to the football because we'll get slaughtered.
Enjoy your little flowing, mate. We appreciate you coming on, my man.
All right, love
Look
you.
after
Mike.
yourself.
Cheers,
All
mate.
the best.
All the best.
I'll bring Colin in just a second. But I want to talk
Happy
about Broadhead.
fisherman. He's great,
Yeah.
isn't he, Mike?
Oh, he's
Very
yeah.
happy.
When he's happy, it's all good. Lewis says thought Broadhead was coming back to his best, such quality on the ball. How do you see Broadhead's performance last night before I bring in Colin?
Go on, Matt. You go first.
As much as I thought Clark was very good last night, I actually think Broadhead was the needle mover, as you like to call him, Martin. So he got Sky's man of the match, didn't he? I probably would agree with that. I mean, it was such a clever goal, wasn't it? Like the little chip in from Hutchinson. This is just a flick header. Unsavable. I mean, look, how much he knew about it, I don't know, but he's there, he thought about it. The motion of the header sends it into the far corner past the keeper. Brilliant. And then, he's got that cross into the box and Harding feels he needs to, was it Harding? Yeah. He feels the need to stick a foot out. And then we are 2-0 on easy street. So great. And it was great. It's great to see him hitting back a bit of form because he got a goal against West Bromwich Albion, gets one last night, forces the own goal. So where everyone was thinking, well, he's gone off the boil a little bit, it looks like he's back to his normal self, which is great as we start this run of games that people keep telling me are a little bit easier than what we've had over the Christmas period. So if he can hit form now, fantastic.
Class is permanent, form is temporary, Rich.
Yeah. Ben messaged me when he scored. He said I didn't even have to send a text tonight. Look, it's lovely to see him. He's on to 10 goals now, and he was a little bit out of form. But then I think a lot of that was down to, like we said, like George Hurst not being there, because I think he brings the best out of him. But now he's obviously got Kiefer there, and he obviously plays with him at Wales. Look, I agree with you there, Matt. I'm not really sure how much he knows about. Like he's getting it into an area, and when he flicks that header on, it's literally unsavable, Martin, when he flicks it. It takes the goalkeeper out. And if you look at the assist he gets for the second goal, he gets in them pockets, doesn't he? Just down that left-hand side, he can get in there, cuts it back. If you put it in that area, you give the defender a bit of a headache and he makes a bit of a mess of it. But, yeah, look, we're all massive Nathan Broadhead fans. And I think if we're going to get promotion or close to promotion this season, he's going to be a real key player in these remaining 15 games. Obviously, he goes back to Wales on Saturday, then he's down to Swansea. So he'd probably be hoping that he plays because sometimes in the away games, Kieran takes him out, then he pops him on the bench. So that'd be interesting if he keeps his place. But look, he's got 2 in 2, so let's hopefully he's 3 in 3 come quarter to 5 o'clock on Saturday evening.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right, Colin, over to you, my man. What's your thoughts and feelings this evening? Welcome in.
All right, Colin.
Hello, Gov.
Evening.
How are we all right?
Ecstatic. Town won 4-0. We're
on
back.
the beers.
Yeah.
Rich is on the beers. And how about you?
Sorry, Gov?
How about you? What's your thoughts after that? Because I know you were there last night, so what are you thinking this evening?
To be honest, first of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Galloway's driver, actually, because he had I felt sorry for him. He had a real nightmare going down there yesterday, and thumbs up to him. I'd say he's done a marvellous job. I mean, we got there, we missed the first 5 minutes, but by all accounts, I didn't miss much. But going on to the game itself, there's loads of people that said this, including you three, actually. There's no easy game in the Championship. That's been said on numerous occasions. Right, were Millwall awful last night? Apart from maybe the first 10 minutes, allegedly. Yeah, they were, but that was... Look, it was a mirror image of Leeds going down to Swansea. Swansea are not the worst team in the world, but Leeds made them look awful.
Non-league, you called it, Colin.
Sorry?
You called them non-league.
No, but, at the end of the day, they ain't going to go down, are they? They're not bad. So, but I thought last night's game was very mirror image of Leeds Swansea, and we've gone down there, and like I say, apart from the first 10 minutes, we've to want to use for want of a better phrase, we schooled them last night, really, and Rich is absolutely right. The Den isn't the place it was. I've been down there and it's been horrendous. The volume and what have you down there. But I ain't like anything like that anymore. And Rich said to me last night, you could even read the den, the den in the seats.
15,600, Colin, there was a crowd. I didn't think there was that many there.
How many was the crowd, Rich? Sorry?
15,600.
Yeah, that's what I said in my paper. So it didn't look 10,000 there, Rich. And but I just thought it was a polished display. If you want to talk about like the players who came in, like I said to Rich before, I think Burgess and Fridge are like this. I think they're on a level. I think they're really on a level. I think the reason Burgess he's done astoundingly well over the last 18 months. But I think the reason Burgess looks a little bit of a better defender in the side is because the side looks more balanced with him in the side.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with
that. But going on to Saturday's game, would I be surprised if Chaplin? Would I be surprised if Chaplin started Saturday? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he started. Do I think he deserves to start Saturday? Probably not. But I think he will. And I think he'll freshen it up, like you quite rightly said, Gav. I think we'll freshen it up. But I mean, Edmondson might even come back in. Like I said, they're like this. So I agree with you, Rich, and I agree with Matt. I think, look, there ain't going to be probably any more than 3. I mean, maybe Edmondson, maybe Chaplin. I don't know, maybe 2. I don't know.
Travis in, maybe?
Yeah. To be honest with you, Rich, I think you'll agree with this. I thought he looked decent when he come on last night. I thought he just.
Second half, there was all the intensity there of a pre-season friendly, wasn't there? Really, it was just
Training
a case of. It was just a case of Colin. The first 15 minutes, don't give Millwall any sort of avenue back into the game, and then it was just we controlled the game, didn't we? It was nice to get that goal though, right at the end, wasn't it, in front of us?
Oh, look, absolutely, because we always say this, don't we, Rich? Well, I certainly do. I know you do as well. Look, I know London is just lit. Well, it isn't just down the road. It's still about 75, 80 miles from Ipswich. But we're still, like Gov said quite rightly a little while ago, it's a school night. People, unlike me now, fortunately, like Rich, has to go to work early in the morning. It's difficult. I've done that. It's difficult for a lot of people. And to take 3,233 down there last night is exceptional on a Wednesday night. Leeds fans would applaud you. They would. They'd applaud you. They're one of the only clubs, apart from Sunderland, who would have filled both those tiers last night. Leeds and Sunderland, probably in the Championship. So I think they deserve that, Rich. Like you quite rightly say, and like I said to you last night, Rich, I love Morsey. I think he's an absolute top professional. But I'll tell you something, he went up another notch in my estimations last night because I watched the game back, because I record it, and they didn't actually show it on Sky, what me and Rich saw. Morsey went over to Chaplin because Chaplin had got the ball. And Morsey said, no, come on, Alan Ahmadi's having that. And I thought that was class, Gov. I thought it was class.
Yeah.
I cheered that fourth goal. Out of all the goals we scored last night, Colin, I cheered that one the most because who knows what that could start. We've said that kid needs a goal, doesn't he? He's gone from League Two. He's gone to Ipswich. He's not really looked out of his depth in cameos. Then they give him the ball, and now he's off the mark. And
if you're
who knows
watching
where that might start.
If you watch that back on the TV, they're showing the replay of the foul, and then you hear a big cheer, and it's because they've given him the ball because we all wanted him to take it. He's won the penalty. We're winning 3-0. Look at 1-1. He probably doesn't take it, but it's important that he's got off the mark, and I think he's been. I think you three probably agree. I think he's only small sample size that we've seen so far of him, boys. He's been a breath of fresh air, isn't he?
Mm. Yeah.
I just think, Gov, when you read about his story, coming over here at 1-year-old, like Rich said the other day, I've read his story, growing up in Toxteth, coming down here, playing in League Two. It's just it seems to me to be one of those stories that is growing and growing and growing, and I hope it grows to a level where I think he can actually get to. I think that lad will play in the Premier League. I really believe
Which you
that.
said after the first time you saw him at Portman Road. To be fair to you, Colin, and as I just said, the biggest compliment you can say to him is he looks at home at this level. He looks bang at home. And he doesn't look like a player who's going to have to adjust, or a player that's out of his depth, or there's rawness to it. He looks just a player that
like a Kiefer Moore, Gov,
yeah.
when he came. I know it was totally different. It was different times when he came into the team when he was like under McCarthy. But I mean, Al Hamadi. I mean, interesting, Matt. Though he's going back to Swansea Saturday, and he was there when he got a pro contract at Swansea. So that's a little bit of a narrative.
Could he start on Saturday? Like we're talking about Swansea being.
I don't see him starting.
They play such a high line. They got done for pace on nearly all the goals against Leeds, and he brings that. So I mean, look, you don't know, do you?
I see him more as a game changer at this moment.
So do I.
Yeah, you're probably right, but food for thought, considering they've struggled so much against Leeds' pacey attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Colin, appreciate you coming on. Go on, one last thing. I've got to get Stephen on before we get to Swansea.
I was just going to say, Gav, I was watching a little bit of the Swansea game the other night, and I think one of the biggest levellers on Saturday will be A, their pitch, and B, there's supposed to be loads of rain in that area over the next couple of days. So that looked a really heavy surface. It might be a little bit of a leveller, but I can't see nothing but a Town win.
Quickly, how many rolls?
Oh, Saturday, probably about 7 or 8.
Yeah, got to have more for the trip to Wales, didn't you?
Oh,
it's a long day, Colin. Pace
we
yourself.
appreciate you, man. Look after yourself.
Don't have too many before Peter services.
See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
All the best. Yeah, so great chat so far. I'm going to have Stephen on, and then we'll come to Swansea. I want to get both of your thoughts on if any changes. So, Stephen, over to you, my man. Final caller in. Clicker. Talk to me.
How are you doing? It was just a perfect team performance. Now, I know everybody keeps going on about this 1 in 9 and things like that, but if you look at the games we've played, we haven't played bad. It's been like we've all been saying, small margins. We went to Preston. We know we should have won that game. It was small margins and errors. West Brom, we were the better side. Again, it was small margins and errors. It was things that could be worked on and things that could be worked out. We knew we were playing well, and it transpires last night. They had more shots than we did. So it was like reversed yesterday, as if we'd figured out, hold the ball, stop them from having shots, and then taking our chances. So, someone was going to get done in for us, because the simple fact is we haven't been getting any luck recently at all. Was that penalty a penalty? No, it wasn't. Yeah, but it makes up for the offside that we didn't get. You know what I mean? It's always one of those things that these things level out. And it was a perfect team performance.
I'd rather have that at 0-0 in the 90th minute in a game, Steve, than when we're winning 3-0.
I agree. But if I'm going to get it, I'll have it any time, to be perfectly frank, because you might not get it in the 0-0. You know what I mean?
Lewis O'Connor, at the end of the day, how did you manage to get Jimmy Bullard on the podcast?
I heard a rumour the other day on the Discord that Steve Parry might be cutting his hair.
Yes, the wife's the wife's having a go at me.
When did you last have a haircut, Steve? It must have been pre-COVID, surely.
It was pre-COVID. Just when I started growing it, when they said I'm going to start making appointments for a haircut, I said, "Well, I don't make appointments for a haircut. What do you think?
Oh.
My wife makes appointments for a haircut. I've never made an appointment for a haircut in 50 years. I'm not making one now." This was even after COVID. Even the places that before COVID, you didn't have to make an appointment for. After COVID, you had to make an appointment for. I thought, no, I'm not.
Wait, when's the haircut? When are we going to see the new you?
I don't know.
Don't do it, Steve.
I've got a rock festival to go to in June, so it'll be after that. I've got to go.
Like West Burns.
Well, I've got to go. I've got to go to the rest rock festival. Looking a bit Nebworth, you know what I mean? So until then, probably about August. But anyway,
talk haircut, Steve. Wes Burns had his Barnet cut. Bit like Samson. lost a bit of his powers, it looks like. How did you see his performance last night?
He was excellent. He's been excellent for all the time. He's just had a bit of luck. He's just been a bit unlucky. We've all the players, in my opinion, have to think either a bit unlucky, or they've suffered from the lack of George Hurst. There's even during some of the other games like QPR, we were missing Davis. That was a huge influence on the way we play. And then we missed Morsey, again, a huge influence on the way we play. And all these things were never taken into account when it says 1 in 9. And the fact that we played Leicester twice, and we played Leeds, the only team to beat us. It's like, all these things need to be took into account. And then suddenly we come up against a team that isn't any of those, and we've got a fully fit squad. Yeah, we have like Preston, who now are having a resurgence. I think they've just won 4 in a row. Yeah, we play West Brom, who were 5th. We come up against a team who are struggling, and they get banged. I don't think that is a coincidence. I consider that as a revert to the norm. Yeah, that we've always been this good. It's just we've either been having a bit of bad luck, or we've had some players that were really, we didn't need them out because we haven't got the depth. We haven't got the depth of Leeds. I saw a message on Twitter today. You see Leeds and Sheffield, Leeds and Saints is in Leicester's wage budget. It's 4 and 5 times ours. And they're like, what, 1 or 2 points ahead of us? Be it. If they have to have 4 or 5 times the wage budget to be 1 or 2 points ahead, yeah, that's a poor do. That's us doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. Spot on. Truly spot on. Anything else, Steve, before I let you go?
Yeah, I want to mention the Burgess thing. I think it was the right thing to bring him in last night. Yeah. It's not that George hasn't played bad. He has. All I think is, if Burgess was there on Saturday, I don't think that second goal happens because George wasn't comfy with his left foot. If he has a left foot, he plays it out left. And he doesn't try and play the right-footed ball to Harness. Now, if Burgess was there, he would have played it. He was more comfortable in his left. It would have gone away from Swift and not towards Swift. You know what I mean? So I don't know whether that factored in his thinking that, and plus like Davis plays better when Burgess is there because he's a left footer playing to a left footer. He's always Edmondson, for all his good play. If he's closed down, he's not got the time to adjust and get himself set to pass out to a left footer because he's playing it off his right more often than not. So I think the balance is a big thing, and I think it looked better, and I think Wolfie felt a bit because plus that Burgess has played left back as well, so he can nip in there to cover for Davis when he's gone. You know what I mean? Where Fridge it's alien to him left back. So I think it all plays into that, and I think that's probably the reason why he got the nod.
Perfect, Steve.
I was going to say, Steve, before you go quickly, Southampton on the downturn, lose to Bristol City, got West Brom Friday.
I don't think they win against West Brom. That's a hard place to go.
Very hard game, yeah.
Getting beat. 22 games in a row, you just got beat. You go into Bristol City thinking you're unbeatable. And seriously, they didn't just get beat; they got drugged. Yeah, Bristol City took them apart. People managers will be watching that saying, "This is how you play sense," because they took them apart. And Bristol City were no shakes. So I think West Brom, I can see a draw. And I can see I'm hoping for a draw at Plymouth because that's a tough place to go for Leeds as well. I think Leeds got a draw there in the cup, did they?
In the cup, yeah.
Won in extra time, didn't they? Won in extra time. Talking to Southampton, Steve, quickly, they've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games as well.
Yeah.
So
I was watching the game, and they, if you press them, they don't like it. They really do not like being pressed because Bristol City were all over them like bees round honey. And they were like trying to get rid of the ball. It was like hot potato, and they were making so many sloppy mistakes. Do I think they'll be up there? Yes. Do I think Leeds will be up there? Yes. But we all know Leeds have to play Southampton. We have to play Southampton. Leeds have to play Leicester. Southampton's got to play Leicester. Yeah, we've got to play. I think we've got some tough games. Norwich away, Coventry away, Plymouth away. They're tough games. So we've got Saints at home. That's a tough game. So we've got some tough games, and they've got some tough games. It's who's going to get more points out of these next tough games. I just hope we do. But I'm not bothered if we don't.
Okay. All right, Steve, appreciate you coming on the show. Look
Yes,
after
Steve.
yourself. Thanks for
after
jumping
yourself.
All the best.
on.
He makes some really good points there, quickly, Martin, about the tough games that like we've all got coming, and this is why I think the next 8 or 9 games, Matt. I don't know if you agree with me. We've got to get as many points as we can because we're playing teams in the bottom half of the league, and we've not lost to a team in the bottom half of the league so far. So
been strong,
this
yeah,
is if we're going to make that push,
Yeah.
to keep the pressure on them too. We've really got to take as many points as we can in these next 8 or 9 games.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wasn't Southampton's record like they on that run? They'd barely played anyone in the top 5, or hadn't even played anyone in the top 5. So yeah, I mean, look, we've got, as we said earlier, slightly there's no gimmies, right? But slightly easier fixture list than what we saw over the Christmas period. Can we capitalise? I mean, we did that in League One, didn't we? Starting with Forest Green Rovers. Also happened to be a 4-0 win. Was it 4-0? Yeah. And then and away we win.
We can't have no more Prestons, Gov. Preston, that can't be acceptable now. If you're got your eyes on the top 2, you've got to go to Swansea Saturday and you've got to win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've been so happy today. Obviously, Town won last night, and I finally booked my appointment with Freddie at Stowmarket Osteopath. There we go. Stowmarket Osteopath, 01449 613 633. Don't live life in pain. Give Freddie a call. Tell him the governor sent you for physiotherapy and osteopath needs. I wasn't joking, by the way. I did actually book an appointment today. I'm so happy. Can't wait.
Did you see your favourite man last night? Give Kieran a little sort of hug at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Bart, little smile on his face.
Oh, Bart. No, I didn't. I was probably getting ready for the show or live when it happened.
Gave me a little thing on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Bit of mutual respect there. Is he coming back? He might be thinking.
I'd take him in a heartbeat. It's still walking to any of my teams. He really would. But perhaps as a man that uses osteopath services, I do not know. But whatever way, if you need your osteopath or physiotherapy, give Freddie a call on 01449 613 633. Right, Swansea. Very quickly, then. Any changes for you two? I know you both said this is a game we've got to win. If you've got any aspirations for the top 2, so you've ticked that box of the question. I won't ask there. But any changes, obviously, to the back line, first and foremost? Would you make any changes to that back 4?
No.
Rich is shaking his head.
I know Steve said about you could bring Edmondson back in. Like I said now, I want to be playing my best back 4. And I think probably the 2 centre-halves, Clark starts again, obviously, and Leaf starts. So as far as I'm concerned, that stays the same.
Yeah,
agreed.
Matt agrees.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that,
Massimo and Morsey back to their finest again last night. Would you tinker with that, Matt? Would you look to bring in a Travis potentially, or would you leave?
No. I think I'd probably keep it. It was interesting to see that Morsey went a bit further forward last night after some subs, didn't he? I think because he could have got a goal himself in the second half. I think it was Sarmiento. There was the ball, and Sarmiento got there first. Had he dummied it, Morsey had a run at goal there. But no, I again, it's like you always talk about a spine of a team, Rich. I think if you keep him Wolfie and Burgess, you're going to keep Luongo and Morsey together. Certainly at the start of the game, anyway.
Maybe Tuesday's a time you might drop a Travis in for Luongo because you've got obviously Rotherham, haven't you? And is Mass going to be able to play? I think it's 4 in 11 days. You know, and maybe that's the time. I'll see today that John Eustace is going to have a conversation with him in the summer. Lewis Travis, obviously, they've changed manager now, so no one knows what happens going forward.
It might be in a different pool then of players. You know what I mean? Like, spend money on a player that's come out of the Premier League out of contract. It'd be a different landscape then. But look, he's certainly doing a great job for us at the moment. It's great.
Yeah, we've got a wealth of attacking options to play behind the striker. So I'll go to the striker first. Would you stick with Kiefer Moore? Would you bring in Caden Jackson? Would you look to start Ali?
Excuse me, Caden Jackson? He won't be playing striker ever again for Town, unless we have a mass injury crisis.
Well, technically, he's still employed by Ipswich Town as a striker.
He is employed.
I mean, look, there is an opportunity because we've seen Jackson, and now we've got Al Hamadi as an option against these sides that struggle with pace. And we've said, like, the Leeds game, you know, Swansea were like doing what we did against Preston. But if Colin's right and says the pitch is going to be kind of heavy, then maybe you think Moore, maybe Moore is the correct player to go for. But then again, he's got 3 goals since he rejoined us. But I don't know. It seems like pace is going to be a real thing. Heavy pitch might change their minds, but.
Would you go Caden then for heavy pace, or would you stick with Kiefer? Just to be clear.
I'm just saying that we've seen this season where McKenna has said, you know, we wanted to get in and behind. with fast players.
I don't think we're going back to the
we've seen
80s with
Jackson
this
play.
pitch. There's a bit of rain. I
If
think
it's
the pitch
rain,
will be
yeah,
okay.
I get that.
I think the pitch will be all right. It always rains in Wales anyway. If
Plus
Caden's
scoring
in that
goals.
lineup become 2 o'clock on Saturday, I will be massively surprised. And
Well, I think it'd be Al Hamadi, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But look,
because he obviously played there last night, didn't he, Matt?
Keeper's already scoring. Has already got 3 goals, so he's only
Three.
himself. Yeah,
3
I can't see
and 3.
too many changes. I mean, look, you
So
can you could supplement that for keeping Amari in his number 10, I think, which is harsh on Chaplin because he's been so good for us. But people were saying, has Chaplin lost his sheen a bit? Hutchinson comes in, puts in a great performance last night.
Okay, so you're sticking with more up front, the pair of you. Then who plays behind more? You've got obviously Sarmiento, you've got Harnish, you've got Broadhead, Burns, Hutchinson, Chaplin. Who's your 3? I'll start with you, Matt, while Rich's dog has.
Fine, that's fine.
All right, I'll start. Are you sure? It's
fine. Yeah,
great
it's fine.
ventriloquist you've got going on there.
Fine. I'm going to go Broadhead on the bench. I think he might have a little rest. Sarmiento, Chaplin, Burns.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I don't think. I mean, it'd be harsh to drop Hutchinson, but then McKenna doesn't really drop players, does he? Particularly, it's just seen as rotation, isn't it? But the speed thing, the counter attack, being able to get the ball from Hladky into midfield, into the strikers, we saw Leeds do that really well this week, and there's no reason why Ipswich can't do that either. So yeah, I'll probably go with what Rich is saying there. I think.
All right, score predictions then.
Well, head to head, Matt. Head to head, 32 games, 11 Town wins, 9 draws, 12 wins for Swansea.
It'd be tough, I think, for Town to, to go back-to-back away wins. Look, we've done it before this season, so it's not out of the ordinary. But, that coming out of the form we've had, you remember I said we was in the wilderness. I feel like we're out of the wilderness now, Martin. We've now got strikers that can score goals. And McKenna's got a victory.
We're out of it.
It's Maidstone.
Before we knew we were in, we're now
out
of it. My questions have been answered. I do actually think, looking at the league table short term, a draw might disappoint people, but I think 4 points from 2 away games, very good, considering you've got Rotherham and Birmingham coming up. I actually do think it will be a draw. I don't think Swansea will be as bad as what they were against Leeds, and I think it'd be a big effort for Town to go down there and get 3 points, which I hope they do. But I wouldn't be disappointed with a draw. But sorry, I'm going to go 2-1 Town. We're on a tear right now. Al Hamadi and Moore going to get the goals. I can feel it.
The thing is, we're entering a little bit of what we did last year, where I sat on the platform and I said, you can't afford to go to Peterborough, tough place to go, and walk away with a point because you've slipped up at Lincoln. It was last year, or in this case, Preston away, and we're in that territory where you've lost at Preston. Okay, mistakes happen. Now you can't have a point from tomorrow or from Saturday.
Yeah,
you got to get all 3. You got to get those 2, that 3 back that you slipped up on. That's the way we're entering it now. It's that part of the season we're approaching. So for me, a point probably would have been a good result had we got a point or more at Preston.
Yeah,
we didn't. So it's got to be 3 for me, Rich. It's one of those situations.
Yeah, I said that before the Preston game. This stage of the season now is points are all well and good, and normally if you go to these places like Swansea, like say a 4-point week from away from home, you probably would take that. But we're in the position now with Southampton has slipped up, so obviously we're back to within a point of them. The game in hand against Rotherham next Tuesday, you'd think that's a Town win. So I think it's really important that we go there and win. I know it's hard because obviously that's like 2 away games in a week. We've got a day's less rest than they have. And I don't think, I agree with you, Matt, I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as bad as they were against Leeds. And it does, that just worries me a little bit that obviously they'll want to show a reaction for, look, he's a pretty new manager, isn't he? Luke Williams
Did you see that? Yeah, you're right. Did you see the stat that was going around on social media like last night or the night before? They could see just as many goals in the first 15, 20 as what we do.
If you look at the games when they played Southampton on Sky, I think Southampton were 2-0 up fairly early. Leeds 2-0 up after 10 minutes. I mean, it'd be great to go down there, wouldn't it, if we could get an early goal. We'd all take a result the last time we went there. Do you remember what the result was last time at Swansea, Matt?
We won, didn't we?
Paul Hurst only won as a Town manager.
For the international break.
Hurst and Selena scored for Swansea that day. But I think, I agree with you, Martin. You're leaving yourself now. Kieran, they won't say they're aiming for top 2 because they'll say, "Oh, we don't look at league tables and all that," and we all know that they do. But you've left yourself not a lot of margin now for error, have you, Gov? With how close it is, and I think it'll be a tight game. I think Town will just edge it 2-1, and possibly your bench might win it again, because I think I looked at the stat today. I think that was the 15th goal off the bench, and I think we're just behind Southampton with goals off the bench. And I think if you look at that bench last night, boys, we've got so much attacking depth on there, haven't we, Martin? And Matt, when we need to maybe change it at 65 if it's not working, you've got Al Hamady. You could play 2 up front. You could go with him and Moore, couldn't you, Matt? Like they did, away at Preston. So look, let's go there. Let's be positive. I think we sold out again. I think 1,900 down there. So let's get a win, and then you move on to Rotherham Tuesday night. So all good. He's not had a great start, Luke Williams. He's not had a great start. He's only got
a big jump from him, though, isn't it?
4 points from 18. That's all he's had. But he was there before with Russell Martin on the coaching staff at Swansea. Yeah, so he's obviously been there before. But look, let's go and put the pressure on him. Let's get an early goal and use that crowd maybe against them.
Let's hope Chris Hall's West Brom can do us a favour. I called him last night. I called him last night and said, "We're just 11 points ahead of you." He's very salty. We'll see you in the playoffs. Fuming he was.
Mike Wood says 3-2 Town. Charlie says 3-0 Town. Paul says 2-0 Town, but Paul F says 4-0 Town.
Wow, same.
Well, I've got a stat to end on. Stat to end on. Do you want another stat?
Yeah, and then I want to talk about some unsavoury scenes from you.
Town's win last night was the biggest ever win in a away game on live TV, Matt.
Where have you been getting all these stats from?
Carl Fuller.
It's like being with Optra tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shout out, Carl. Some great
Buy Cole's
stats.
book on Amazon. Buy Cole's
on
book.
the telly.
Yeah.
Good book.
Yeah.
So obviously we're content creators on the platform here, and there's another content creator in Ipswich Town's arena that is obviously called Alex Griffin. And yesterday, I'm not quite sure what happened, but it stopped him from creating content.
He was at London Bridge, I think, at the pub. That was where he was. And look, you've probably been to London away games, guys.
Boat trip, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and you know the drill. A lot of people, they go to early, they get on it, and they on the beers. And it's always remember Charlton away when we had the Toto incident. It's always a bit lively, but I think it's no excuse to abuse a fellow Town fan who's, look, Alex might not be everybody's cup of tea, right?
He's just doing a job, though, isn't he?
But he's doing what he loves, and he's doing videos. And there's a lot of people out there who watch his content who live far and wide, who live abroad, and you can't get to Town games. And he's given you that opportunity to see it. And I think to abuse a fellow Town fan, I think it's disgusting. I really, really do. But you get these young lads nowadays, they get the Stone Island on, they think they're Bertie Big Bollocks, and they're nothing. They ain't. And they ain't got the balls that Alex has to put himself out there and do the stuff, And Alex is he's a great guy, I've spoken to him loads of times and been on his channel, and you think he does.
We've had money a few times.
Alex is a great lad, and I just think it's really, really, really sad. But I just think it's the world that we live in at the minute. People are jealous of people who are successful.
And that's the key word. Yeah, jealous. That is the big key word. And we've all got a lot of time for Alex here on the platform. We all watch his stuff. We all like his stuff, and we'll support him as fellow content creators support each other that know what it takes to get up and speak behind a microphone, do the role that we're doing. It's not. People think it's easy picking up a camera and just talking into it. Particularly what Alex does at football stadiums. It really isn't. And you do not. There's nothing he has done content-wise that ever deserve any level of the feedback he gets. It's just
he's got thousands of people watching his stuff. He's got thousands of subscribers. They far outweigh the people that are giving him grief. Do you know what I mean? They're not. I've said before, these people that are abusing other Ipswich Town fans. You're not Ipswich Town fans. Bobby Robson would not have classed you as an Ipswich Town fan. So you just happen to be going to games, but you are not an Ipswich Town fan. People that watch Alex Griffin's content, watch Blue Monday, Kings of Anglia, wherever it may be, Ipswich Town fans. These people are idiots, and I think it's disgusting. So Alex, you keep doing what you're doing, mate, because loads of people love it.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got the support of talking of all of us here and Talking Town right behind you. But yeah, the way of the world, you say, Rich. I don't know about that.
That's just sad. If you go on the socials today, stuff on the socials today, and you think, look, if you don't like something, either don't comment it, just scroll by. Let Alex get on with what he loves doing, you know. But if you abuse him, you're a bit of a fucking muppet. And look yourself in the mirror and just be better, you know. Just be better, because we all support Town. We all love Ipswich. We all love going to the games. And Alex is doing something that he loves, and his dad's on there, and I see his brother was on the
it's local businesses, don't they? Going to get their brekkie in the local business, the cafes.
Yeah, they always give. Yeah, look, there you go, because they're giving the local businesses, you know, they're giving them sort of a platform, and I just think it's really, really sad. And I just hope that he looked a bit upset last night. I sent him a message today. Yeah, I just hope he's okay, and I said I'll see him at Swansea on Saturday, and just ignore the fucking muppets. They're just scum. That's what they are.
Just keep doing what you're doing, because he's managed to do the one thing that people desperately want to do in life, which is find something he loves and turn it into a career. And he's done that. And we all have to go to work. We all have to earn our money. And some of us hate our jobs. Some of us despise having to set the alarm. You know, but Alex has managed to do that one thing that we all desperately want to do, which is find a love and turn that love into supporting whatever you want to do in life. And that's where I think most of this is fueled from, because we all want to do it. We all want to be following Town far and wide, and calling it our love and our profession. And Alex, you keep doing you, buddy. You keep smashing it out of the park, and people to keep watching. Even the people that say they don't, believe me, from experience, they'll be watching. They'll be watching. Speaking of which, we'll be back on Saturday post-game show. So join us then after we've beaten Swansea, hopefully comprehensively. I'll take a 1-0, I'll be honest, but give me 3 points. That's all I need. But for tonight, thank you to Colin, Stephen, the Fisherman and his McFlurry. Sorry to Frank and Phil who didn't get on. And of course, thank you to these wonderful people sat opposite me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on Saturday. See you later.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.